Thank you very much for being here. Angela and I were both behavioral scientists at Filomena. Filomena is the expertise center, thank you, for domestic violence and child abuse. Well, that was what already is said. We are a one-stop shop. When we start talking about Filomena, domestic violence, coercive control, we are very hard to stop. So I tried to speed up the presentation a little bit, and we have to skip a few slides. So our mission is we are for everyone from -9 months till 100+ years old. We are only for very serious, complex, high-risk cases. So when someone fears for his or her life, it's a case for Filomena. We are a one-stop shop. We will explain that a little bit later, but that means that every help you need is under the same roof. We have one house, you can see it, we call it the House of Filomena, and every help you need we have or we organize. We are experts in stalking and coercive control.
Does it work? Yeah. We have all the services you need when you're a victim or a perpetrator of domestic violence in one location. So what does it mean? We have like our basic team, that is us as behavioral scientists, but also our manager and the policy advisor. But most important is the team around us. And very unique for the Netherlands is that we have police at our location every day. And it is for us as social workers, so we ask them if we can go to the house if it's safe for us, but also for the victims, they can talk to the police. What can they expect? How does it work? So they can educate them. We also have psychologists. If you need trauma treatment, you can receive it at our location. There's no waiting list. If you're ready for the trauma treatment, it can start right away. Also, we have the forensic doctors at our location. So we will tell about it later. People can come to Filomena without an appointment. So often we see victims of domestic violence or sexual violence with injuries. So when that happens, the forensic doctors can take pictures of the injuries. So if there comes a lawsuit, then they have the pictures to prove their injuries. And also in June we moved to another location, and now the sexual assault center is also at our location. So victims of sexual violence, they can come to us, and then also with the police, the sexual assault center, they can do DNA testing, but also STD medication. Everything you need, they will provide. And also very important at our center is we work with experts who have also experienced domestic violence. So we have support groups for the victims, but we also have support groups for the perpetrators. And our location is across the hospital in Rotterdam, so also the doctors from the hospital can come to our location for any medical care you might need.
So this is what Angela already told about the sexual assault center. It's in the same building, and it is for victims from the age of 16. Younger than 16 are going to the hospital, or the hospital comes to Filomena, of course. Well, they give mental support, medical assistance, secure traces, etc. If necessary, they can refer the victims also to Filomena. Well, there are different ways to access care. You can come to the walk-in hours at Tuesday and Thursday. You don't have to give your name. You can be anonymous if you like. You don't have to make an appointment, and you can walk in and tell your story. Some persons need help. They have a clear question, but sometimes they only want some advice. Well, if you come to the walk-in hours at Filomena, one of the intensive case managers will have the first conversation, and that will be your case manager during the whole process. So the first one you speak, that is the phase you have to deal with during the process. Well, sometimes you only need help for 3 weeks. Sometimes it will take 3 years. But we think it's very important that you have the same case manager. You can forget the SOF7 and DMFE because I think that's too much for now.
Yeah. What is important to say, we have the walk-in hours at our location, but like now that Filomena is getting more known, we have people calling us, telling us we want to come to you because we need your help, but my partner is tracking my phone or my car, so I can't come to your location. We have one woman and she works at an hospital in the city, but she has to call her partner and FaceTime him and show him her location if she is where she said she would be, and if not, she has a problem. So that means that more and more we go to the victims at their chosen location to have the first conversation.
Well, maybe the criteria, when can you go to Filomena? Because we also have, like, I don't know the exact translation in English, I think Safe Home. That is also an organization, but also for, like, how do I say it, just regular cases. So Filomena is for the very complex cases, and when you fear for somebody's life. In the Netherlands, we have every 8 days there will be a woman killed by her partner or ex-partner. So that is also why Filomena is organized. Also, when every help is already tried, but nothing works to break the circle of violence, you can come to Filomena. Here you see our lovely pictures from our place. We moved just a few months ago, so we are very proud how it looks like. The medical exam.
And this is also for children also sit in this chair for medical examination. Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to see, I think, but on the left side you can see that we can take, or the forensic doctor, of course, can take pictures from the victims.
Yeah, in the Netherlands we had an investigation, and then they have family profiles, and at Filomena we say it's very important to know which family profile you're dealing with, because it makes a difference in how to react to it. Because of the time, we can't go into detail of all of them, but the most important one for us is the difference between the complex divorces and coercive control. Because many times the women in divorces get blamed because they want to don't want to let their children go to their father, but they say, well, he's the abusive parent, so I want my children to be safe. So that's why I'm not sending them, but still judges tell them you have to, even if you don't want to. And I think also important, in the Netherlands we have 3 kind of electric monitoring devices. One is just for the victims. It's an aware button. The victim has the button, and if the perpetrator comes near her, she pushes the button and it starts recording right away, and it also sends a signal to the police so they can come to the location where the victim is. Then also we have the tracking device on the perpetrator's ankle, and kind of new, and I heard you are starting with it also, is the victim devices. That means that the perpetrator has electronic monitoring around his ankle, and the victim has another device. So that means if the perpetrator comes too close to the victim, she gets a phone call from the police that the perpetrator is near her and that she has to go somewhere else. So that's kind of important. We work with the district attorney in Rotterdam, and she is specialized in domestic abuse cases. She only has domestic abuse cases. So that's kind of what makes her important for us.
So it's very difficult to recognize coercive control, but what Angela was already said, that it's very important, because if you confuse it with a complex divorce and you intervene at that way, then you are traumatizing the system again, and also the perpetrator can still controlling the victim because of mediation, because of visiting rights. So that is why we think it's very important to see the difference. I tried to go to a short movie we make special to recognize coercive control. We did it with some of our clients because to explain what coercive control is sometimes very difficult, and to make it visual it's a little bit easier. The victims we spoke about the movie, they say, well, this is exactly how my life was.
Yeah, and we use it for educational purposes, because lots of the times we hear people saying, well, she says she's a victim of domestic abuse, but I don't see any marks on her. So physical abuse is still the most recognized form of abuse, while this coercive control is also very large, but also very dangerous.
It's with subtitles in English, so can you see it when it starts? Or?
Dwingende controle is een subtiele, maar zeer schadelijke vorm van huiselijk geweld. Bij dwingende controle, ook wel intieme terreur of coercive control genoemd, is sprake van een patroon waarbij iemand een ander sterk domineert en controleert. Soms gaat het gepaard met fysiek en seksueel geweld. Voor buitenstaanders is het dwingende en manipulatieve gedrag moeilijk te herkennen. De pleger lijkt voor de buitenwereld vaak charmant en attent. Toch zijn er een aantal signalen waardoor er een alarmbel moet gaan rinkelen. Een van de dingen die je kan herkennen bij dwingende controle is dat een nieuwe liefde je overlaadt met aandacht, romantische gebaren en cadeautjes. Door een stortvloed van liefdesbetuigingen probeert je partner jou voor zich te winnen. In het begin voel je je daardoor bijzonder en geliefd. Maar gaandeweg gaat dat overdreven en oncomfortabel voelen. Zeker als je partner verwacht dat je direct reageert op de constante stroom van berichten en telefoontjes. Of wanneer hij je al heel vroeg in de relatie vraagt een volgende stap te zetten. Iets anders dat kan wijzen op dwingende controle is dat je partner je probeert te isoleren van familie en vrienden. Bijvoorbeeld door kwaad over hen te spreken. Of door erop aan te dringen telefoon- en sociale media-accounts samen te delen. Ook kan het zijn dat je partner de toegang tot je financiën beperkt. Of je verhindert om naar je werk te gaan, om je zo nog verder te isoleren. Eerst lijkt het onschuldig en lief dat je partner zoveel tijd samen met jou wil doorbrengen. Maar het kan erop uitdraaien dat je partner je sociale leven volledig overneemt. En bepaalt wanneer en met wie je contact kan hebben. Zodat er langzamerhand niemand meer is om mee te praten of steun van te ontvangen. Wat ook veel voorkomt bij dwingende controle is het constant volgen van je bezigheden en het negeren van je privacy en grenzen. Dat je nieuwe partner veel interesse toont in jouw activiteiten en graag wil weten waar je bent en met wie, vind je eerst misschien attent en aardig. Maar als je partner gaat eisen dat je de locatiegegevens van je mobiel aanzet en deelt en je kind inzet als pion om jou in de gaten te houden, is dat vooral beklemmend. Ook gaslighting kan wijzen op dwingende controle. Dat houdt in dat je partner constant beweert dat je dingen verkeerd gehoord of begrepen hebt, of dat je je dingen inbeeldt. Je partner beschuldigt je tijdens een ruzie bijvoorbeeld van iets, of maakt beledigende opmerkingen, maar ontkent dat later in alle toonaarden. En als dat steeds vaker gebeurt, ga je meer en meer aan jezelf twijfelen. En weet je niet meer wat echt is gebeurd en wat niet. Je zelfvertrouwen kan daardoor een flinke deuk oplopen. Een andere vorm van gaslighting is dat je partner jou zwart maakt bij hulpverleners of je familie. Herken je deze signalen? Kijk dan niet weg. Dwingende controle kan heel gevaarlijk zijn voor slachtoffers en kinderen. Zoek meer informatie en vraag advies bij een centrum huiselijk geweld en kindermishandeling, zoals Filomena.
We hope that this movie also helps to recognize the signs, because when a woman, most of the time it's a woman, more than 80%, is murdered by her husband or ex-partner, there was a pattern of coercive control. So if you see the signs of coercive control, we hope that we can predict, prevent a murder. I think the last one, yeah.
Yeah, for us, it's crucial to identify the red flags in the story of the victims. And you can see them here. And stalking is a very important red flag for us, but also that's why we put it in red, or non-fatal strangulation. It's something that's not very well recognized, but it happens quite a lot, and it's quite dangerous because people put their hands around your throat, and it's one of the most dominant forms of violence. And we know when this happens, when there's a form of non-fatal strangulation, you have a 900% more chance of being killed in the relationship. So that's why we're very alert to identify if there's non-fatal strangulation.
We can talk about it, I think, for hours. Do you want to do that? Yeah, I think that's it for now. Yeah.